We are very live, Mickey.
Okay, that's what I was counting on.
We're live. Woo woo.
Woo, blankety blanket who?
Well, hi Mickey. How are you today?
No love. I'm okay. I just feel like crap, but I'm okay. Actually,
Oh,
really, believe me,
and
this is
crazy, but
true.
I don't feel like crap. I feel good, but I feel very emotional today and very
Exactly.
vulnerable.
That's what I mean.
It's a different kind of feeling, but I know that this moon is full. It is a super moon and it is a partial eclipse. So we are not only getting the energy from the sun on the moon, but the energy from the earth is just showing itself on the moon too. It just feels like so significant today.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I want to say hi to everybody out there in Facebook land and YouTube land and the web. Yes, welcome, welcome. And we usually can't see as presenters, I don't know why, but we can't see who's on unless you make a comment. So please feel free to comment. I mean, even if you just want to say, hey, that works for me.
Yeah.
So
It's
what's
interesting when you
cooking?
mention. Well, I was just thinking it was interesting when you mentioned during last week, I believe, about how you never know how many what we call lurkers are out there because there are loads of folks who go to different live broadcasts of various kinds and they just enjoy going and being there. And I do that generally. That's one of my favorite little pursuits is to just show up, enjoy whatever's on the site, and then off I go, without interacting a lot in terms of comments and stuff. So when the reminder came through the universe, it came in two or three different ways. And it kept saying, you never know. Someone even posted this meme you've probably seen that says, you never know how many other lives you've touched
Yes.
in your life. You just have no idea. There's no way to track how many people may have observed you, someone you opened a door for, someone you smiled at passing you on the street. You never know what the actual result and effect was.
Right.
So, you know, it's
Yeah.
it's one of those
And
kinds of
and
times.
like from the last new moon that we did, I have heard from many, many people that were like, thank you so much. I really needed that. And I had no idea that they even knew about this. So
Yes.
I'm grateful that we have an audience that we are affecting in a positive way. And I see our buddy Audrey is on. She said, hi guys.
Hello, Audrey, sweetie pie.
Hi,
You know I
Audrey.
love you.
Absolutely, we do. Audrey's been with us since the very beginning. I
I
love
was talking to somebody today about that, about our beginning being 4 years ago. And, it's like, oh,
it. Yeah.
really?
I-
And it is.
yeah. I mean, we took a little bit of a break and we came back in a little different format, but stronger than ever. Um,
Yes.
I think so. I think so. So, we talk about the moon is full of a lot of emotional energy. And what is going on astrology wise right now?
Ha ha ha. Well,
Aha. I know
of
it's a
course,
lot.
of course, the moon is the ultimate feminine personification, just like Venus is. And both of those are very active right now. The sun is the ultimate personification of masculine energy in the universe. And it's interesting that the moon is in the ultimate sign of masculinity, which is the very first sign, or Aries. So there are a lot of, there's a full moon is about pull back and forth. Once before, when I said to you that an opposition in astrology is where two planets are across from each other, and each one is representing something that's come to your life, but because they're opposite each other, you can't have both things. You have to look at what's offered and decide when the things appear in your life and say, well, you could have this, or you could have this, or you could have. But what you have to look at is if you take one, when you reach for it, it means you have to automatically turn loose the other one or you can't reach it. Okay? Well, that's the epitome of what a full moon is about. You've already put your intentions out there. You've already said, well, I want this and this and this. And you submitted your want list. You know, these are the things I want to manifest 2 weeks from now. And this is where we're sitting now, where the two things are across from each other, saying, well, there's a list of stuff that could manifest. You've already said that you were interested. However, this time, before you actually get what's coming, and I love that we're talking about this the day before, okay? Um, 1 second before you actually start collecting the stuff that's coming to you, would you just, can I get you to just look at that list again? Would you just go over it again and make sure you really want what you asked for? This is a big theme this time. And you might not see it play out until the next day after this thing really kicks into being exact. But it's an underlying theme under here this time. Just a minute before you sign on the dotted line, would you make sure this really is what your list was? So reevaluate what you said you wanted because you were in a very different emotional state 2 weeks ago. The things that were super priorities may not be right now, and something else may have popped up within the last 2 weeks. Something else has probably jumped out and says, and don't forget to get this too. Ask for this. Don't worry about that. Look at this. So we're being asked to take another look and make sure that you have your intentions out there the way you want them.
Mhm.
Now, I said that, and I'm on record saying that we are recording. However, I also want to record, and I'm taking every bit of it back. Remember when I had the theme of so what? We have to throw that back in because
It's been huge.
yes, and it really is a big part. It's a big turn in what our spiritual attitude is and what our stance is because all that about how to manifest, all that about how to be exactly how to put it out there. You don't ever say I want. You don't ever say I need. You always say I know I have this coming and I'm ready for it. I deserve it. So this is a good time for it. Yes, wonderful. But we also talked about systems and we talked about your destiny as it compares to each within each system. It's a different one. You have a different system of things you can accomplish, different options, depending on what level of system you're in. Where is your awareness right now? If you have not progressed and evolved into a dimension 5, if you're in second dimension, everything's flat. That's called flatlands, in the as we laughingly call it. You can't then act on a physical level if you're in 2 dimension, and that's true of everything in your life. You're on a certain level of development because of how you've set your life up. So what you have to do, and it's not the same for every thing in your life. You're more developed in this, and you're less developed in that. And you've got a few problems with that. So you have to assess again and say, actually, I think I'm going to let my higher self pull in what I need to have because there's some things about what I should ask for that I may not know yet. So you know what?
Love that.
You got it, Slick. You go ahead. I'm going to sit here and be real positive and create a certain resonance within which you can work easier.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to trust.
I love that. You know, when I do Reiki, when I teach Reiki, that's one of the big things that I teach is that, when we have an intention for someone, it is asking their higher self that they receive the highest and greatest for their best good, and that their higher self is the only one that really knows that.
Right.
Um, so yeah, Yeah, it's
It's
drop the ego. And right now we are it's almost like being here on earth is to learn how to navigate
yes,
egos. Every ego and every ego
exactly.
is important. That doesn't necessarily mean we need to interact with that ego, but each ego is important.
Well, this theme today and going forth for at least the next 2 weeks till the new moon. But for right now, we have a new agenda, and it's trust in great big neon letters.
Yeah,
I know you know what you want in life. You've been figuring out your destiny, figuring out what your needs are, your wants are, blah, 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 blah. But you also have to trust and know we're eternal beings and we set this all up. So we have a higher self that knows exactly what the script says. If we're on stage performing act two, we're not busy reading the closing scene. We're caught up in act two where we're at.
right.
But the higher self knows what the final act is. And it can help us get all the props we should have on stage for that final awareness of our destiny, that final, accessing our eternity, the wholeness of us, and so forth. But it can see it and we can't yet.
Right.
So, since you can see further down the road, I'm going to stop with the navigational system I'm using and I'm going to let you take the wheel.
Put my trust in you. Yeah.
Put the higher self in charge.
Yeah.
So,
I love
today's
that.
theme is trust.
Hmm. I love
So
that.
what is still operating, but in the midst of so what, you've got to trust in order to say it,
Hmm.
to
And
take
it
your
and
hands
it
off the wheel.
and it doesn't mean don't act upon urges because that's your higher self nudging you in one
Yes,
direction or another.
yes.
So pay attention to those and pay attention to how they feel. Do they give you a knot in your stomach? Then maybe that's not really your higher self. Pay attention.
Yeah, anything with fear dripping off of it is not coming from the higher self.
Right. So
That's ego.
it has to feel simpatico. It has to feel right with you in your heart and your solar plexus. Yeah. These are very trying times, and there's so much energy and chaos in the world that we need to find a calmness and a peace.
Well, these are what they call it, laughingly called interesting times. I wish you live in interesting times, ha ha, sarcastically.
Well, we're
But
here.
that's just what we've got. We have very interesting times
Mhm.
because we are evolving. We are changing into a higher frequency as a whole. The whole planet is moving into another frequency, resonance, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
But this in
Dimension.
between time is yikes.
Mhm. But we can
But we
navigate it.
signed up. We signed up to be
We
here for
did.
this.
Yeah. So I look at it as like Dolores Cannon said, we're the light workers. We're the first round of people that have come here to assist in the raising of the vibration. So when we're feeling emotional turmoil, we're the ones that have to be that guiding light, that shine that shows people where to go, how to
But
act.
we're part of a huge, 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 huge group of dedicated souls and entities
Hmm.
who have signed up for this part. But it's huge. I mean, there are 9 billion people on this planet, and at least half of that have said, this is what I want to witness. This is what I want to help with. This is how can I help?
Hmm. And
And
really, 100% of the people have said, "This is what I want to witness." Now,
yes,
some of them don't
exactly.
want to help;
Don't want to be a part of it, but they want to see it.
they want to witness.
We got the bleachers crew,
Yep, yep,
the folks in the bleachers. We've got cheerleaders. We got all sorts of stuff.
we do, we do. Mm,
I count myself a cheerleader, but anyway,
you were a majorette, weren't you?
I was a majorette.
I knew
Oh,
that.
well, honey, child, there's a big difference between a majorette and a cheerleader.
I know
We
that.
won't tarry on that, but just know you've been told.
Absolutely. I was neither. I was the artist. I was painting when people were
Oh
twirling
yeah.
their batons.
Well, it shows. I wasn't painting then, and when you see the difference between what I paint and what you paint, it
Aw.
shows. It shows.
Aw. Now it's so weird. I know that every time we meet, we really do a quantum jump and very much based on Bert Goldman's theories
Yes.
and I have had the strongest feeling for the last couple of days that I need to go back to my roots and I'm going to do a uh, meditation and it's still going to be a journey, but a meditation that the Mayans created
Oh.
to squash the fear of the people, humanity, um, because of the end of the 2012, right? So
Hmm.
was that right? Yeah. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, and I'm going to go on the fly, that my memory serves me well. But it's a lot about it's going to start out with you, and then it's going to increase to all of us that are listening, and then it's going to increase past that. And I've done a little bit of this before, and it's really receiving love from the universe, and it's self-healing, self-love. And then
Hmm.
spreading that further and further and further and further until we encompass the entire earth. We have done something very similar to that. What we haven't done in the past is we're going to go to a specific location and I'm going to talk about the energies that are there. And then we're going to receive the energies that the light beings or all that is has left for us to receive. And
Okay.
it's a beautiful meditation. um, and I know that the Mayans thought it up, and I'm looking like I have to show this, right? That picture right there, that
Oh
one.
yes.
That
Yes.
is done by Mayans, and I got this in Tulum, and I didn't realize it. There it is, sitting right behind me, and I just feel the need to do this kind of meditation that really squashes the fear that's on the earth right now and
Mm.
spread the message of love really to all that need it. Um, I'll just say this briefly, but in the past 2 days, our schools have been under threat, and it's very scary. And I have three grandsons in these schools. My daughter teaches in these schools, so we want to think about the places where there's fear in the world and send extra love to those places. Not that we're feeding the energy of the fear, but we're giving it the opposite of love to neutralize it. I guess that's the thought process. Um,
That makes sense because one of the things I did not touch on earlier when we were speaking astrologically is the fact that this whole thing, this time, this full moon is happening in the first house, which is your personality and your personal issues, all your real super personal stuff, and the seventh house, which is all of your partners and relationships. It's either your romantic partners, but it's also your business partners. It's anybody that you have a relationship with.
mhm.
Um, and all of those things are having a real tough time of conflict coming up. So there's going to be a lot of stuff in the wind. Everybody's talking to everybody. And out of all of that, five of the planets are going backwards in retrograde. So,
Oh my goodness, I did not know that.
and two other positions that, it's actually seven, but the other two things are not planets. They're just spaces that have a meaning. But, actually, we're talking about seven streams of energy that are usually at your disposal that have suddenly turned around and gone backwards. I shouldn't say wrong. They're going where they're supposed to be. But there's a lot of conflict, this kind of thing,
Hmm.
but there's also a lot of just energy that would have come, but it's got a big screen in front of it,
Mhm.
blocking it. So there, a retrograde is a blockage. It's where energy is working the opposite of what you want it to work. So this is a very important time to just say, okay, you've got this well-trained chauffeur who has spent millennia learning to avoid problems on the road. So, of course, in my limited knowledge of driving, I will say, yeah, you drive. And that's the reasoning behind it because every kind of person you touch, every connection you have has static or is down. So this is going to be pretty challenging, at least the first week of the two, as
Mm,
it builds, and then it'll kind of fluff off a little as it's building away from it. But this first one, so I really appreciate the change in your path that you normally follow, because what you're going to accentuate is very important. So I feel good about that.
good, good. And we're in the right space.
Yes.
We're not, everything is right because we're experiencing every potential, every possible. But right now, let's concentrate and hope for the best possible outcome for what we're witnessing and what
Yes.
where we're shining our flashlight. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What a day.
It is a day, and yeah, but you know what? No matter how vulnerable Mickey and I felt, we both felt that it was important to be here and to continue, and yes, change it up a little bit, but still show up,
Hmm.
and we're good. Yeah, think we're ready for this meditation? Ah,
Oh, yes.
all right. So all I need for everybody to do is just relax. And I am going to start the way we're used to starting by relaxing the body. And we'll start at the top of our head and relax our scalp and our forehead and our eyes, our eyebrows and our cheeks and our ears, our jaw. Just part your teeth slightly, releasing any energy you may be holding there. In your neck, release tension from your shoulders, down your arms, all the way to your fingertips. And you can even wiggle them a little bit, releasing energy. Release the tension in your chest and your upper back, your shoulder blades. Just let them slide down your back. Release the tension and soften your belly. Don't hold it in. I just found I was. Just let it loose. Release the tension in your hips, your buttocks, your legs, all the way down to your feet and your toes. And you can wiggle your toes, letting all tensions go. Now I'm going to ask that you take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And again, in and out. And now we are in a more relaxed state of being, a relaxed state of mind. And we're going to do the 3 to 1 count to go down to our heart space. Ready? Breathe in. 3, 3, 3. Breathe in again. 2, 2, 2. And one more time in. 1, 1, 1. Beautiful. Now imagine and visualize a staircase that goes down into your heart space. And this is what we call our meditation room. Hold on to that rail, and I'm going to count us down from 10 to 1. 10, 9, going deeper and deeper. 8, 7, deeper. 6, 5, deeper and deeper. 4, 3, deeper still. 2, and 1. We are now in the safest place within ourselves, our heart space, where there is a beautiful fire or a candle. It is warm, it is inviting, and we are protected. We have this bubble of beautiful white light around us, and this white light protects us. And now I would like for you to envision this beautiful energy coming from the universe. It is unlimited, and it is coming into your crown, the very top of your head. And it is filling your head, coming down your central channel to your heart space. And it is filling your heart, and you are basking in this beautiful energy as it circles around your body, and it fills every little nook and cranny in your body. It is the love of all that is. And it feels warm, and it feels safe. And now I would like for you to send this energy in a clockwise fashion to all the people that are on this transmission. Sending it out in a clockwise fashion, and it's going around like a circle, and it's creating a vortex of energy, a vortex of love to all that are watching. Always remembering to still take in this energy to yourself first. It's always about self-love before we send off to another person. And we are receiving this energy from all the people watching and the universe. And let's just rest in this feeling for a moment of love from each other. And now I would like for this energy to get bigger and stronger. And I would like for you to break out of this small space that you're in, sending this energy to your neighborhood. All of the places that you can think of where there might be fear or anger, we are sending love to neutralize these spaces and make them safe, because our light and our love is very protecting. So when you think about this, think about your schools, think about places where there's fear. And we want to be sending this energy to all beings, all people, all animals, all insects, all birds, all fish, even the rocks, the leaves, the trees, all beings that live on earth, in our neighborhood. And this is a beautiful vortex, and you may be visualizing this as light coming from you. It may look like vibration coming from you. Any image that comes to you is exactly right for you. And it's getting stronger and stronger because you are still receiving unlimited energy and love from the universe. All that is giving us everything we need. Now increase this energy a little bit further, and let's go to the outskirts of our town, maybe to our next biggest city. Again, sending love and peace, compassion, joy, all of those beautiful energies that will create neutrality where there may be fear or anger. And let's rest in this feeling for just a little bit. Now I'm going to ask you to increase this energy again, sending it out even further to your state or your county. It is so strong at this point. I can feel each one of you and your energies that are touching me, that are going out to my community, my state, and each one of yours. And let's rest in this for a few moments. Taking in beautiful energy from all that is, filling ourselves completely. And this energy is just already bursting out of us, increasing one more time, and it's going to go to our country. All the places where this love needs to land. Putting all that is in charge, knowing that our higher selves, all that is, knows exactly where this energy needs to go. And you're watching it. And you're a channel for this beautiful energy, sending it to exactly the right places, to exactly the right people and situations. Now we'd like to increase this energy, and I would like for everybody to send this energy to the southern hemisphere of the earth, encompassing the whole southern hemisphere. Lots of love, lots of peace, joy, happiness. And let's rest in the feeling that we are creating of neutrality. Feel the vortex of energy as it strengthens and it grows. And it affects not just the beings that walk on the earth, but the fish and the birds, the water, the earth, the soil, the crystals. We are energizing the whole southern hemisphere with energy from the universe, sending our love and the love of the universe. Now, I would like for each one of you to concentrate on sending this energy to the northern hemisphere of the earth, creating a vortex now to the top, from the equator to the North Pole, creating this vortex of energy. Now, mind you that the vortex of energy is already spinning on the south part of the earth. And it's almost starting to look like a huge vortex of energy encompassing the entire earth, sending love and peace to all places that need this energy. And I'd like for each one of you to concentrate specifically on the North Pole. Use your imagination and visualize that we are together standing on the sacred space of the North Pole, where the earthly and the celestial realms converge, receiving all the energy that was left there for us by all that is. Recognize your true north, your true path, Now just visualize yourself standing there and receiving the energy from the ancestors that left it at the North Pole. It is coming in through your crown. You can feel it coming up through your feet. As you are sending the energy from the North Pole down to the equator and now down to the South Pole. So we are encompassing the entire Earth, and we are receiving the energy spiritually that was left there for us. Now, as we're standing at the North Pole, watch the energy of the northern lights, the aurora borealis, and look around. Are you seeing greens, purples, yellows, pinks? What does it look like to you? Visually, you are bringing into your being these beautiful colors and what they represent. Feeling the magnetic north, pulling in all of the energy to your being. Feel the vast, untapped potential that lies within you. We are standing at the beginning of the journey of self-discovery and inner growth that often requires solitude and introspection. We can find that here, standing on this untouched, pristine snow and ice. Notice the isolation and tranquility amidst all the chaos of the world, as the energy that we are sending is putting all that chaos in order. We can have resilience in our life during the most extreme conditions, as the North Pole shows us. Today we stand here at the end of a cycle of light. There is only one sunrise and one sunset at the North Pole each year. Soon the North Pole will enter its 6-month cycle of darkness as the sun sets on the fall equinox. And then as the sun reappears on the spring equinox, there will be a rebirth, a fresh start, a new day, and so the cycle continues. And as we stand here and we notice all of these things, and know that we can come back here as we need to, when we need to feel the energies left here. The connection to the earth is so strong wherever we are, but especially at the North Pole. I want us to just feel this energy, and I'm going to be silent for a little while, giving you time to have your peace and tranquility and feel what you need to feel and experience all you need to experience. Love is all there is, and all the places where there was a lack of love, we have now filled those spaces with love. Our love and the love of the universe, the love of all that is. We have created a beautiful place of tranquility and peace. Now keep sending, and keep receiving. Right? We always want our cup to be full so that when we run across beings that we can pass along that love, pay it forward. That's what we're doing today. And we can do this every day, anytime you wish. Now, as we're all standing at the North Pole together, and we're having a wonderful time, joining like minds together for a cause of peace and joy, happiness, love. Keep sending that love to the earth. It's a beautiful practice that we can choose to do whenever we feel the need to do it. Now it's time to refocus yourself back into our heart space, remembering all the beautiful colors of the aurora borealis that we witnessed, feeling the love and the energy and all of the wisdom that entered our bodies from standing on the North Pole. The wisdom, the secrets, the joys. And we thank the ancient ones for leaving all this information so that we had the most information so that we can choose the right path, our true north. And we allow our higher self to be that guiding light for us. Now that we're in our heart space, we want to start coming back a little bit. So let's just start by taking a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And another one. Now start by maybe just stretching your fingers and your toes. Maybe make little circles with your feet, stretch a little bit. But it's time to come back to this place and time, sitting in front of our computer screens. Okay? And just very gently and very easily, I want you to come back, bringing all of these feelings of peace and all of the images that we witnessed and all of the feelings and the wisdom that we attained. I want you to bring all of this with you. So slowly, slowly come back before you open your eyes, gently and easily. And when you are ready and you have this all set in your mind, what has just happened, and it's been such a beautiful journey to a place that we don't often think about going, the North Pole, where there is ice and snow, and it's pure, and we're safe and protected. We are full of love, and we have spread love. Now, anytime you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I thank each one of you so much for being on this journey with me. Hi, you're back.
Oh, that was nice. Thank you very much.
I want everybody to, have some water. Really, there was such a neutral feeling of love reaching the places where there was a lack. Thanks, each one of you. Audrey, thank you. She said wonderful.
Very good. Wow.
I could
I
I
really needed that.
I could feel the energy of each one of you. And it felt like thousands, tens of thousands.
Hmm. On the other side, there was a lot.
Yeah. And this one, I mean, you can go there. So when I used to do the Mayan full moon meditations, we always had a sacred site that we went to and received energy from the ancestors that left whatever knowledge there. And I think this is a time in the world where ancient knowledge is important for us. There should be
Yeah,
nothing hidden.
yeah. And this is such an intense time. That's part of what we're feeling. It's as if you're under layers of water and fog and stuff that's pressing down on you. So this was great because the thing I felt the most was eventually I was just floating free and unencumbered. And that was a nice feeling. And
Yeah,
I thought, well, I have to get my thoughts together. No, I don't have to do a thing but enjoy being here.
right, right. Right. So for me, it was like, it was a floating feeling. Like but it was floating within those colors. There was
Hmm.
purples and greens and yellows and pinks. It was absolutely beautiful. And it was like we were a part of that, which we are.
It's part of why I wore what I did because I had to have certain colors that I was desperate to recreate. And anyway,
Beautiful. And I think that's why that's right there. um,
yeah, there was a certain resonance and it required some very, very intense colors of
yeah,
a certain vibe. And all the colors in this are different colors, but they're all of the same intensity.
yeah.
And that's what I was aiming for, you know.
Beautiful.
This is this an awesome state to be in. I'm telling you, it's wonderful if we can relax and not fight it.
It is. It is.
Just
And
don't
that's
resist.
really the key to this is relax into it.
Trust.
Yeah.
Just trust.
No,
Chill
and
out and trust.
when I did this research about the North Pole, I did not realize that there was only one sunset and one sunrise for the entire year.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I
But
didn't know either.
we talk about systems and cycles, and Sunday, I guess. Sunday is the cycle of darkness. So we
Ah,
are experience the last of the light cycle that is on the
right,
North Pole.
right.
And likewise, the South Pole is entering their
Hmm.
awakening, their rebirth.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for all of you that are down under,
This is an interesting time. I'm interested in seeing what the week brings.
yeah, yeah. And go out tonight and look at that moon. It was beautiful last night. It was very hazy. It almost looked like the kind of moon you have when you're gonna have a big snowstorm. But of course it was too warm to snow, but it was a hazy, so it was huge.
Right.
And tonight it should be even bigger. And I think the eclipse, I want to say it's around 10:15 to 11:30ish is when you're going to see it in New
Right.
York time.
Right.
Um,
It means it would be 3 o'clock in the morning for me.
On the
Right.
18th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So,
Well, when it's 10:30 for you, it is the 18th for me.
yes. Yes, yes. Right, right. Yeah.
I get to chew on the day before you get it.
You
Yeah.
do. You do. You get all the knowledge up front. Yeah. Oh, gosh. I'm just so grateful for this entire group. And
I am too. Yes.
that we can join together and experience all of this energy.
Well, it's quite a wild ride, and we have barely tapped it.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we
Well,
go.
here we go.
Here.
So who cares? We're there. We're going with the flow. And if it feels right in your gut, that's the right move.
Trust.
Otherwise, take a breath,
Trust. Take
right?
a
You
deep
can,
breath and shrug.
you can go back to your 2-minute rule, right? Is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? If not, just let it go. Yeah. My friend Karen was on. She said thank you. Hi, Karen. So glad to see you on.
Hello.
And for all of those that are out there and joined us, thank you, each and every one of you.
Good.
This is work. We signed up as light workers, and it is work, and it is a practice, and I love it. And I started doing this some maybe 13 years ago. Um, and it's as important today as it was the first day I did it.
I started in 1962.
Well, I'm glad we hooked up.
I am too.
Yeah.
It's interesting to stick around and watch what happens.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, everybody. Enjoy your moon, and I will see you all. Mickey and I will be here. Oh, hi, Carol. Carol's on too.
Hello, Carol.
I will see everybody in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, for the
reassemble and
new moon. I wonder if we should we do something for. I have to think about this. The equinox. I have to
well,
think.
we
I have to.
sometimes do,
I
and
have
if
to
you
think
want
about
to,
it. Yeah.
we can do. But at the moment, we have enough on our plates.
Kinda. Yeah. Yes. I'll see you on 2 weeks.
Spend the next few hours fastening your shoes.
All right. Bye, everybody. Love you all.
Yeah.